Everybody's having fun, fun, fun. Bye, 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 bye. Hey, I'm muted. There you go. Hey, everybody. Woohoo! Sound muted. Thanks, Zorro. Zorro Z. I'm a goofball. I was singing along with the music earlier, so I muted myself. Usually I'm pretty quiet, but I was not. So anyway, Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. We had a good one. It was hard. Our Nikki worked hard yesterday, and over the weekend she was baking a bunch all last week. She has some family traditional cookies that her family loves. Her mother does not make. I don't think she's really baked anything in a while, but you know she's in her 80s or 80. But my mom helped, and my mom's not quite as old as Nikki's parents, but she's getting around. It's harder for my mom to get around than Nikki's mom for sure. But we had a good time. Everybody was over. Had a great dinner and tons of treats. And then we opened gifts, which was fun. And everybody I think was happy. Nikki's mother got upset at some point. We're not 100% sure what was going on there. Nikki's dad whispered something to her that he thought was going on. So I feel bad because you don't want anybody to be upset or disappointed. But otherwise it was good, and I think her mother had a good time until something happened. But we, it was a nice time, a lot of chatting and having I actually, the day before that, we had my mom over and we were talking, and I mean, I have things I need to do, but I was happy that I was able to take some time, you know, because that's the crazy part is we just don't have, we're so busy. And I was really trying to make it so that I did not work so insane in December, but I failed at that because we did the Advent calendar, which is the second year we've done this Advent calendar. We had done the Frosted Games game expansion, so they had 24 little expansions for games that mostly Frosted Games developed, which was Matthias Nudge. He's still part of Frosted Games, but he's now with Deep Print. And Deep Print is the Eggert Spiel guys. But anyway, so we did those, and you know, most of the time, at least 50% of them, we didn't even know what it was, right? We're like, I had maybe a knowledge of the game, but didn't know the game at all. So it was a lot of just quick opening, and Nikki and I spent, you know, 5 minutes at most each day. Now, don't get me wrong, those are hard too. But these were harder, mostly because where I'm more particular now, I think I used the same thumbnail in the previous ones for the Frosted Games Advent Calendar, Brett Spiel Advent Calendar. These, I changed the thumbnails. Everybody's like, you're crazy. I'm like, well, I want people to know that it is a different video every day. Hey, Ian. So yeah, you know, and believe me, the thumbnails are not that different. I changed the colors, but I had a scheme where I went through 8 different colors, 8 different backgrounds, and then I repeated that 3 times. It's funny, somebody said that Dave and Deborah didn't change. Now clearly they changed one time because we filmed 2 different days. But Dave was actually, I believe on the second batch of videos, he was changing shirts every day. And somebody didn't notice that. I'm like, well, you're not very observant there. He thought that would be funny. I think he was changing between a couple of shirts though, so it would be easy to miss, I think, actually, now that I think about it. But we had a good time. Everybody else seems to have had a good time that we met with. I chatted with. I did chat with Aaron. We've been trying to get him to come over. He just is, now that he's got a pretty crazy job, and now he's heading into an election year. So he works for the LA County election board, and so that's a guess at what it's called. And so he won't be as available this coming year, I would imagine. We have our primary relatively early. I think it's February now, maybe. It used to be like June, which was terrible. And so now, hopefully, he will have some time. We're going to try to get together in January. We have a bunch of stuff that we've been hoping to do with Aaron, particularly. And so we'll get to that. And then Dave's doing well. He was up with his mom. Mike was doing great. He was with his parents. He was sending me pictures of their dog. And the one picture of the dog's laying down, and I'm like, the dog looks like how I feel. But we had a great, hey, Mim Green, you're from Portugal. Nice to meet you. So yeah, it was a good time. And I was very happy to have at least been able to take it relatively easily, even though I had a busy December. But I also set myself up for certain things through January and February. So I'm probably on the better end of the deal, but boy, oh boy, was I crazy and much busier than I expected. Let's cut down to the table, he says confidently. That is not it. That is it. There we go, hooray. Everything's working, if you noticed today. The machine that runs the music is not the web page that we use Epidemic Sound, and I cannot, in the machine that we use to stream with, get the mouse to work on that website, and I have no idea what's going on. But I was trying to do this the last time, but what I was able to do this earlier was I'm going to fix this little guy right here. Somehow this color right here. I was able to use tab and spacebar and get to and load in a new page by typing it into I was guessing at the name of the page where our saved playlists are, and it's just /saved, and I was able to get there and get the music started. I was very happy. Last time was actually kind of rough. Thanks, Joe King. We had so much fun with the Advent series, though. We really did. Dave and Deborah decided they wanted to be involved in all of them, which was fun. Last year, I think we did 6 with Deborah, and then probably like 12 with Dave or something. Is that right? That'd be 18. That sounds about right, maybe. Maybe not quite 12 with Dave. And then some with Aaron, which was great. It was fun to split it up. It'd be too much to have more than 4. I think actually 4 is a little high for that kind of a game, because sometimes you just can't get in there to see what's going on. We had some people frustrated with the way things are going, but you can't. First of all, when you guys see a lot of this stuff, you're seeing it from above and it's very clear. Although I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't watched them, but one of them was a challenge. I'm confused at what the heck they were trying to get us to do. This is not necessarily the right color, but it'll be fine. I mean, I know what they were trying to get us to do, but the text, the description was a little off, I feel. So, hey, I need glasses to let me see this stuff up close. I'm gonna try these here. Woo. But yeah, we had a great time. I just closed that paint and put it away, and I have no paint on this brush somehow. It dried immediately. But yeah, you're right, holidays can be emotional. My mom, one time, this is embarrassing, but she was disappointed about what she got for Christmas. She had something she wanted. This is a long time ago, and it turns out she wanted a bike. And I don't think I knew that. I did not live at home. And so we didn't get her. So I went out and got her a bike afterwards. I specifically went and bought her a bike. I just felt bad because, it's hard. We didn't have, I don't think it might have been in the beginnings of the Amazon phase. But we didn't have, I don't know, it was weird. We were in the beginnings of Amazon, I think, at that time. But, and I mean, at that time, I don't think you would put that on a wish list. Although you might. You can buy stuff like that on Amazon. Okay, well, I just wanted to fix that. I saw that it had taken a little bit of abuse. This is the Penny Parker one that actually, let me get I have a thumbnail that I refer to. Not a thumbnail, photo that I referred to for this. These glasses are weird, maybe. Maybe these aren't the ones. These are the ones Scott gave me. He's actually got prescription glasses now. I don't need the call visible. I do need this. Huh. How did I do this the other day? Well, it doesn't matter. So, Penny Parker. I saved all the ones from the... there's a lot of great looking stuff on this, which I have no idea whether I will do. They have I feel they changed the sculpt of this miniature a lot, because it looks like there's a ridge on this chest, and maybe that's just their, non-metallic metal kind of thing they were doing on it. Because the legs have, that's probably what's going on. This is way darker than I had hoped it would be, but it's fine. And I'll probably do some highlighting to, polish up the effect, angles and lighting and stuff like that, so it looks kind of cool. Yeah, I was saying about the Advent series. I actually think it benefited from all of us being involved, just because, it was kind of a cool thing to, wow, this leg does not, very strange. What is that going on here? That's a piece that's not on this side. Who knows? Okay, well, let's get to the red so I can finish that, and then I'll start painting Penny. She's not quite as light as I would like her to be, the undercoat. Actually, none of these. I meant to actually paint these. I was hoping I'd get a chance this weekend, but not at all. These need to be a little brighter for me. I have a lot of inks. I have the, what are they called here? I don't have a lot of them. I have a lot of this Daleroni. This is FW. It's acrylic artist ink. This is what a lot of people use to do the Zenithal highlight. I have not had that much luck with it. And I clearly thought I was going to have a lot of luck with it because I bought the giant bottle. I need to try to use it more and just be patient with it. It might be the way to do it. Because I'm using, for my primers I use right now, this is a, gosh, I have big bottles of all these. Anyway, this is the black Stynal Res. This is from Badger. I really like this stuff. I think these are the wrong glasses. I really like this stuff. It's really solid. Does a great job. Dries very, very smooth. And it's ready to be airbrushed. I mean, it's from an airbrush company, so that's one of the things that's great about it. And I've never had to thin it. I did have some issues recently where the bottle I use, let's see if here's one right here, this is the gray. It had dried inside a little bit, and it was little particles. You want no particles when you're airbrushing because it clogs the needle very, very easily. So yeah, this one, we'll see. Now, I didn't do anything with the color other than thin it. It is not as glimmering as I would like, obviously, but that is probably because I had to put quite a bit of this stuff on to actually get it to be smooth-ish looking. And I'm pretty impressed with how it came out. It is not, I mean, look how shiny it is down here. It's just weird. And it also just could be that this is darker underneath. It does not have as much silver. I used, oh yeah, I used the Vallejo metal color. This one here, specifically silver. It's a lighter silver, but I still feel it's not necessarily light enough. And then I will use more of it today, the metal medium from Vallejo. This is it's a metallic pigment that you can, and I use it as a paint, but you can use it to make other colors of metallic. You can use a bit of a standard paint, and it's really great. So let's see if we can get her leg done. Well, I don't know if this is a her here, but that's a her. Boy, that is weird, that leg. I don't really quite know what to do. Do they have a picture of what goes on there? It looks like it's silver. We did watch the Final Archer, which we love that series. I am very sad. But I get it. It's probably way beyond its prime. But it still was funny, and this last episode was really good. Well, as good as it can be. There were definitely, I think, better seasons in the past. And there's things that we really loved, actually. There was once they kind of like went off the rails as far as telling the same kind of stories, they had the character change a lot and go back in time, essentially. And that was really fun and different. Oops, right off the thingy. I need to paint that leg, which is this is probably the best way to have it on here. Let's see. Oh, I still have to do this arm too. But the gold is pretty good. I ended up using, oh my gosh. I think I ended up using this one. Imperial Fist. On one side of these, I did all 4 different yellows that I have from GW, Citadel. And wow, that's terrible that I don't remember. I think that's the one though. They were all pretty good actually once you really saw them. They weren't that different. This is still kind of splotchy, but whatever. And this has like too much red. So this is probably the one where I did the 4 different colors and just went with it. There's some interesting like airbrush effects that I may end up trying on here just to see. Very, very delicate. I would actually like to try to do it on stream, but I don't think I can do a good job at it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to find out what yellow that is because I didn't paint these parts here. So let's just try that one. I hope that's it. I do think they were all similar. Even the very first yellow that I had that was their first release one, I End in Yellow. It's you can see it's very orange, but it goes on kind of yellow. Okay, let's make sure we don't spill this. Goodness, I don't remember. Well, I have more to paint too. I need to do this. Can't see it, but I need to do the chest thing. It's very Iron Man. Thanks, Mim Green. I love painting these things. They're so much fun. I wish that some of these were more easily available. This is one. Actually, this is will be easily available. This is the latest from the Marvel United set. It's called Spider-Geddon. So this one you can get all these minis. So I think it's all of these here. There's a lot. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these, I've only finished 3. The Spider-Man Noir. Focus. Spider-Man Noir. Actually, I have almost 4 done. Silk. I do not remember which Spider-Man this is. But he looks cool. I got a little bit more to do, but not much on the web itself. And then Spot. And so they're cool. I think they're all great minis. It's just finally getting released, according to what we heard a couple weeks back. So I'm glad, because it really needs to... it's kind of weird. I started painting some of this stuff a while back, and then I saw that it wasn't available, so I paused on it. And I want people to get it. And I'm excited. I would kind of like to try to do this on the show. We did the base Marvel United with Dave and Mike, and I would like to continue with it, but we'll see whether they're into it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know that Mike liked it. I mean, Mike liked it, but I don't know that he loved it. Mike is a real gamer for sure. He purchases a lot, more than me for sure. And so you can see I use that, this is the metal medium. It's very white, very, very bright silver. Like, kind of like what I remember Mithril being, but I don't think that was the old GW Mithril. I don't think that it was really that bright. I think I have a tiny bit of it left somewhere here. Yeah, see, that's pretty bright. But I mean, they're definitely not the same. I put this into a bottle, but I don't even know if it's any good in there anymore. I don't really use it because it's not great. There's a couple neat little dots underneath here that I gotta paint. Now they're gonna be so dark, I don't know that it really matters. Thanks for the follow, also known as Opress. Working on the Marvel United Spider-Geddon box. Hopefully to get these done soon. I still have 5 more after this one, so I don't know. I really would like to. This next week is mostly trying to relax, so I'm hoping I'll have a little bit of time to do this kind of stuff. And I want to hang out with Nikki too. We had a lot of fun yesterday, and this weekend. Been playing a very old video game that we played a long time ago with a bunch of friends called it was called Age of Kings, Age of Empires, Age of Kings. Wow, that is very yellow. We had a while back, we bought like the definitive edition, which is a new remaster with HD of graphics and stuff. And it's fun. And we're terrible. We haven't played in a long time, and we were never great. But having fun with it. It's on Steam now, and they have like a sale with most of the stuff, not all the DLC for the games, the various versions of it. We kind of want to try some of the ones we never played. Well, that's not true. We played Age of Mythology. I think that was Age of Empires 4-ish. No, that's not. It's another one. It's 3. It's not 3 because there's an Age of Empires 3. I don't know exactly what it was. But that's been fun. We used to do LAN parties, and that was one of the games we would play. And we kind of got through that one pretty quickly. Not quickly, but because our friend Daryl was really into Age of Empires. So he brought that over for us to try, and then we bought it, and then like 2 weeks later, I mean, he knew it was coming. Age of Kings came out, so we got that as well. Played the heck out of it. And then kind of migrated to first-person shooters, sort of, and StarCraft. StarCraft, we played Warcraft and stuff, but StarCraft was the one. That was really the one, actually, with all of them. But we had a lot of fun with Age of... I mean, Nikki's crazy. You know, she's fun. She likes to play and try all the different civilizations. And she still does that. And there's many, many more. So that's one reason why we kind of need to get the DLC that is out there. So I need to put some black inside of there. I don't think I did that right. Let's do the red first, because I'm going to need to do a bunch of black. So red. I use this color here, Blood Angels Red, which is a pretty good red. Contrast paint. And I'm going to use the Pop It palette. This is a really great way. Now, this is really good if you use dropper bottles. It's okay. I mean, if you paint directly from the pot, with contrast paints, it's great. The problem is I don't want the contrast paint to be quite as intense as it is. Although it kind of looks like it's full. I mean, I did multiple coats. And that's another reason why, for me, I'm not worried about the shading of a contrast shading, because contrast paint, you're meant to paint it on kind of thick. Not too thick, because then you get coffee staining, but here I'll show you a cloak that was painted with that. You know, and it's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. There's a better one, I think, in here. But these are the contrast, one of the contrast paint blue, and it settles in, it looks, it's sort of auto shades. It fills in, and I like it. It works really, really well. You do have issues with it, coffee staining, and that second cape here actually has a little bit of that going on, but it's okay. It looks like shading. So when you're doing it with the Zenithal paint job, which those had, it doesn't necessarily need that, because you already have the shading going on. If you see here, he's dark underneath because the sun's coming from, or the light's coming from above, and so you don't have to worry about the paint being thick enough that it will settle like that. More like you're just putting a shade or I don't know what other, there's another a glaze or something like that over it, and so I want a little bit more of the contrast medium on here, in here. That gives it lightens the color, the intensity, but it doesn't. It's not like putting white, right? It's putting the medium that is the This one is really, really getting, I left it open one time and it was a real bummer. So I think it's a little thick. I have another, I bought a new bottle of it as well. I guess I don't need to clean that off. I just put a little bit of the fresher one in there. Hey, Phil Taylor. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Hope you guys had a good Christmas. We had the Buttermaid stuff out, and that was a hit. I had never had. Christina sent us. Gosh, what was it? Clothespin cookies. I'd never had those. They, in the description on it, it said there were multiple names for that. And those were good. I mean, there were so many cookies, though. Our families. My mom made a bunch. And our neighbors brought us their Swedish. His daughter is still in Sweden. And she was here for Christmas, and it was baking, and they made cardamom rolls and cinnamon rolls, which were amazing. See if that is enough. Ours was nice. We had a very good time. It was probably one of the better ones till the very end. And I don't know what was up, but Nikki's mom was upset about something, so I guess. Like, Nikki was like, are we going to hug? You know, it was weird. But her mom is, you know, it's hard. The other thing about like Christmas now with the older folks is it's hard to find them something. See, now this is probably the level of thinning I should have done. It's hard to buy them stuff. My mom, I used to do, you know, like would track it, and I would still do that if I found something I liked. But you know, like, oh, I need to get mom this is one of the things. Wow, I really like this red. Now it's not dry, of course, but this is kind of what you want. I probably put it on too thick. Didn't thin it quite enough. Now I was using the older contrast medium, and I should have used a mix like I did here, because this is definitely more flowing than it was last Thursday. I actually had some time to paint this before the stream last Thursday, so I kind of had gotten some progress on it and figured out some of the things I wanted to do. But, Mike, how many people did you have at Christmas? I was looking at the photos that you had, the Thanksgiving photo that you sent before that the other day when you sent your message. And I was chuckling because your daughter, Erin, is wearing a 21 Pilots shirt. There was a Thanksgiving shot. And I was like, if you want to sour her on the band, not that you want to, tell her that Lincoln and Nikki like them. So. Also, 21 Pilots is from their hometown, so, well, where they live. This week's game night is going to be the longest game night ever. I'm not exactly happy about that, only because it's just terribly long. I like the game, though. I'm not really sure what it was that took so long. I was part of the issue, though. I know that because I didn't know the game at all. I had never played the original version of it. Nikki had once, and Mike had a bunch of times. But it took a long time. And it didn't help that I couldn't see anything from my vantage point that was being explained. I didn't want to get in the way, but, you know, I know enough that I would probably be able to figure out most things, and I kind of did, but I still had to ask often, like, what is this one here? And Mike was trying to help me with it because he was next to me at the table. Yeah, that looks really good. Maybe, I don't know. It's got to be the shading too. But I'm happy that it's an episode. Had 9. Wow, 15 at your parents' house. Oh, 9 at Thanksgiving, 15, yeah. Oh, so you're at your parents', that's cool. How far away do they live from you, Mike? Thankfully, everybody here, they live pretty close. Nikki's mom and dad are 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. And my mom's about the same. It's one reason why I would not want to leave Los Angeles right now, because, you know, although my mom said she'd follow us wherever we went if we were to move. But we don't want to move. I do like LA for the most part. It's just not fun getting around. We went to go to a concert the previous weekend, and it was a little challenging to get, as always is, anytime you want to travel across the valley on a weekend, especially if it was a Saturday, it's just terrible. Okay, 15 minutes, that's great. Same as ours. Woof. There was comment about like how late we were running last night, and you know, Nikki's parents are historically not on time, and so we and then her brother, who's actually usually not too bad, he was like an hour late. An hour's not terrible. We already kind of expect that kind of stuff, but the food is starting to get cold because, you know, my mom's very good at like timing everything for when everybody arrives, and so that didn't happen. I like these brushes so far. These are the Saks ones. They are School Supplies or something like that website is where I ended up ordering them from, because they had a better mix of them and they were much better priced than like on Amazon and stuff. So they're just, you know, the synthetics are never, number one, they're made in China. And not that being made in China is a bad thing, but they just, oops, boink. They just don't have the bristles, the best organization of the bristles and stuff like that. So it's a little of a bummer. But I was able to, so far of the ones that I've opened, I was able to, like, you know, trim off the ones. So I really need to deal with this, or I have to treat it as a barrette. I was going to look up Penny Parker, because this is on here. This has to be part of the mold, and it's not on the original model. So I need to look up Penny Parker and see if she has a barrette or something like that, and maybe that's what's going on. I don't remember if Penny Parker is the character in Spider-Man. Gosh, what was the name of the first animated movie, which I really loved? Hey, Kabuki Kid. How was your Christmas? That is so yellow. I probably had a lot of the pigment under there. I need to probably put a little bit more to just make it brighter and not put the gold over that. So let's work on his arm. There's a big old chunk out of there. The Vince Venturella and Sam Lenz and I don't know John's. I think I know John's last name, but Ninjon. They did a thing where they were painting busts. All three of them were painting the same bust, and they were using Big Child Creative's sculpt, and it looked pretty awesome. I've never done a bust. Adam Smasher Tabletop Minions was there as well, and he's like not a bust painter, so he was working on assembling units and painting them for a couple of games that he's playing with Sam Lenz, I think, too. But they all had different approaches, and it looked great. It was really neat. I'm not talented enough to paint a bust, I don't think. I mean, you can't get there if you don't try, but it's, you know, you want like the skin to look great, and I just don't have all of that skill set yet. Although I did watch a video from Rogue Hobbies where she did specifically that type of thing, where she was trying to stretch herself, you know, to improve on, particularly with colors. She said that red and purple she's terrible with, and she said she didn't paint a lot of purple, really. But it was a pretty cool project too. That's her latest video. But that was what they were saying on the bus that they were doing. You know, it's a chance to just try some new things and see how much progress you can make and how many, you know, improve your skills. I mean, painting in general is a good thing. If you can just paint regularly, I mean, that's part of the problem. I sometimes go for a long time without painting, and you kind of lose your skills, you know, some of them. Like it's out of focus. I was figuring out stuff again, you know, like, oh yeah, that's right, that I used to do. So Nikki got me this Lego set that I had put on my Amazon wishlist. I hope it wasn't too expensive. It's not really Lego. It's, I guess, I find it hard to believe, but I guess Lego let their patent slip. And, you know, they're not really too concerned about it because others were doing that kind of stuff already anyway. But this is literally a Star Wars freighter, Nebulon freighter or whatever. It's like the medical frigate or something like that on, I don't even know if it's really medical, but that's where Luke got his robotic hand. And it's a pretty great set, but it's another company. Chinese or, I don't know. I was looking at the characters and and I couldn't figure them out. I was like, what is this? Is this Korean? I mean, it's not Korean. It could be. What do I know? But it was cool. I mean, it looks really, really cool. And I want to try to build that one. It's got like a little Millennium Falcon attached to it and stuff like that. It's weird though, that part, you know, you're like, you're playing with fire when they're not saying any of the names though, although they say Nebulon, and I think that's what it says. And that may be what it was called. I don't recall. I think it was called Mold King is the company. I see lots of stuff, and I see things that are actually definitely duplicating, and they're on Amazon. That's the part that's weird to me. They're definitely duplicating Lego sets, the actual official Lego sets. Hey, I didn't put the gold over here. And that's weird. I think it's not great. Hey, thanks for the follow. And Marina, Gushina, 129, P2SB. Thanks so much for the follow. Merry Christmas, the Weary Warlord. Saturn V, I like the touch. Oh yeah, I have that one. Pricey toy. Yeah, I have that one as well. I have not built it. I also have the Lunar Lander. I mean, I have too many sets. That was Nikki's brother's comment. And he's 100% correct. We have a lot. The goal, I guess they'll be our puzzles when we get to be old. I mean, Nikki and I like doing them together, so we will probably do some again soon here, because we love it. The downer was the Millennium, so the Millennium Falcon we have in the background right now on GameNight. It was harder to build because the two of us had to, basically what we normally do is one of us will build, the other one will sort. We both love to sort. Nikki really loves to sort and build. And so we like to do that kind of thing. We're both sitting there together doing it. Well, with the Millennium Falcon, it was so massive and so many things. Each bag was a tremendous amount of parts. We ended up just doing it. One of us would come sit at the table and do it. I think that was a Christmas thing 2 years ago. I think. But we had fun with it, and it was a really awesome build. Although there's a couple that I want. I really want to try to not buy as many. I would like to get the Land Speeder. We bought one for our friend Sebastian when we were visiting last year for his birthday in Germany, and I was like, I need to get it, and we still haven't bought it, so I will get it one of these days. And I also want to get the huge AT-AT that's, I don't know how big it truly, I've seen it in the store, I just don't remember it. I don't know how big it is truly though, ultimately. I think that's mostly it. I mean, of these things before I start doing other stuff. But for the red here. Now I think a gloss or a satin finish on this will also change it up, but I don't want to put that on until I have it figured out. Yeah, the Millennium Falcon is really tough. We had a great time with it, but man, it is hard. Scott has, I don't know if he took it apart yet. He has the original large Millennium Falcon that Dirk assembled one time when he was visiting, which was a bummer because Scott was busy and couldn't help him work on it. But it's a different build. The new one is just really, really beastly, but it's really fun. We really had a good time working on that one. It's just more fun doing the stuff side by side. Okay, so let's do a little bit of black. I think this is dry enough to do the black parts that, I mean, I'm not even really doing everything I probably need to do. So I don't use the black necessarily on here. I use the Basilicanum Gray. I'm gonna use the not good Basilicanum Gray. I have one bottle that I spilled, and it's, I spilled it and it somehow lost all of the pigment of the, like the light pigment. So you can see here, I just shook this, but it looked like this when I started. See the difference here? This is the same paint. I don't know how all of that pigment got lost. Like, this looks weird too. But anyway, you can see it starts to mix in here. But it takes a lot of shaking to get it to go in. Now this one is now basically like an ink, but it's fine because I'm doing certain things that will be dark and it won't need to be, you know, again, I'm not letting it do its actual speed paint or contrast paint focus. You know, the way that contrast paints works, I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to do the black. Now I like this Basilicanum Gray because it's, you know, black is rarely ever black. And I always like it to be a little, now I love their blacks. They actually have a couple of really fantastic contrast blacks. And I can't say the same necessarily. Well, Abaddon Black's okay. It's the white that I don't really care for from their lines. There was a bunch of videos out last week about the new paints from Army Painter, the new War Paint Fanatics. That is basically a complete refresh of their entire standard acrylic paint line, sort of. It's not all standard acrylics. Hey, thanks for the follow, Bestos. Why do I have that? Do I have to have that streaming? I guess I do. I'm seeing two images of the stream. One of them is from the computer running it, and one of them is my call. And if I pause the call, I probably can't hear the prompts. Thanks so much for the follow. Working on this Marvel United Penny Parker mini. So yeah, the new Army Painter. Now, Adam is very particular about his paints. He's been painting for a good long time, and he's really impressed with them. And then I can't remember his name, Filipino guy, really great painter. Love watching his videos. And he was looking at them as well. I believe he actually is in the Philippines, and they sent him the set too, and it really looks good. It's 216 colors. Now, I have said on these streams, don't buy the whole set. Now, if you have no paints and you really, I still feel you shouldn't, but I don't have a lot of standard acrylics. Nikki's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't have that many. I had a complete set of some colors that a friend of ours' daughter wanted to paint. And I'm like, you know, I had barely ever used them. So I was like, why don't you guys take this? Because, although I got to say, I would probably, if I was around her, she lives up in San Francisco, or them, and I would show them how to use the paint, you know, the contrast paints. But, you know, they don't have a lot of money, and I don't want them to have to, like, spend too much, so I just let them have that set. And the her significant other is painting minis and stuff too. So I thought that'd be great for them, and inexpensive enough, right? You know, they can then buy the other paints that they might need. But you still, I feel, should buy specifically what you're looking for. You know, in the colors, and then see that you like it. And, you know, hopefully there'll be like common colors that you have, so that you, that you'll use them. And then if you were to buy a set that included those, because like Army Painter's actually pretty great because they have multiple levels of sets. Previously, I don't know what their new stuff's going to be, but they had like, I don't know what the giant set's called, maybe the mega set, but they have smaller sets like 20 paints and stuff like that. That's not so bad, but again, if you're new to painting, you just need to make sure that you're going to enjoy it. But I am tempted. I really don't think I should buy that set. I am tempted to get it though, because if it's truly as good as people are saying, it'd be worth having it. You know what I mean? Like to have. The problem is so the way their new set works, 216 paints, but their main colors, the standard colors, have 6. AR Besto, hello. Bestos, there we go. I can see it a little bit. You know, our font changes it so on the pull down, so I see it's AR Bestos. They have their triad system, so that's what they did. The first thing set that they ever did that with was the airbrush paints. I don't have any of those. I don't buy a lot of straight airbrush paints. Although, because right now I'm not even really painting airbrush colors too much. I'm doing just the undercoating and then some stuff on the minis like I did on this one I was touching up earlier. So, you know, I painted him with, it's Dormammu. I painted it with a brush, and then I painted the yellow for the hair and then just airbrushed. Oh, hey, I see another piece I saw before that I need to touch up. And then I just airbrushed the very delicately the orange and then the red, and did some of the what they call OSL, object source lighting, so like the hair and stuff on below, and I did just a little bit of color for that stuff. Nothing crazy, but it turns out good. And so, wow, I forgot about that. Let me just do that right now. What they do is they do 3 colors that are in the same family, so a light, medium, and a dark, so that you could just use those and have them be exactly the right colors. This new set, they're doing that even more so. So each color has 6 sets. And what that lets you do is you have essentially 4 sets of triads inside there. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 4 different sets of triads. And that is an exciting idea. It's just, wow, a lot of the same colors essentially, right? They're not the same. And you could try to mix them. I don't know exactly what they're doing to make that so that you know, that the colors work together. So you figure that, so 6, 10 colors is 60 bottles, and 15 colors is another, is 90 bottles. So how many different colors do you actually have? Now, again, they're all different. They're just different shades. And then they have, I think there was 160 colors. So that's, hold on. I want to figure it out exactly. So they have like new metallics, which are using aluminum pigments, which is amazing. And then they have, gosh, I don't remember. Adam actually he was using the set. So 160. I don't know if that's correct. It may be 150, but it's saying 26 different colors, right? And then what was the other? So they have metallics, some technical paints, like all those things look great. Adam's video shows a little bit of all of that stuff and gives you an idea of how it works. It's cool, but like how much of, so in the other sets, if they do smaller sets, are they doing fewer colors of the triad? I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about it. I don't know that I need all of those colors, but I do need acrylics. I need standard acrylics. I don't have enough. But it's pretty awesome. It's a cool idea, and I hope that they're as cool as everybody says. They say they have 3 to 7 times the pigment of their previous range, which, you know, I don't know how that compares to others, because mostly I do have a decent, well, I have a few of the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl line stuff, and I love those. And I probably should get more of those too. And they're great. It's a lot of paint. It's a reasonable price, probably not too far from the Army Painter paints. So it might be a better deal anyway, if you're thinking of those terms. The color sets, I mean, I've told before that I always buy a pink. I do have like the red and a bunch of the grays and whites, but I bought the magenta. It's not what I wanted. I really want this color, Warlock Purple. I need to look and see if they have some retro sets from some companies in the UK, and they might have that color. Hey Chris, Peyton, how you doing? How you doing? So let's look at Penny now. Her skirt looks like it's a different color than her jacket. So it's kind of a blue. So I have so many blues now with Marvel, with the Games Workshop. They were very nice to send me the second batch. Well, they wanted me to cover a game, and I said, well, I'm going to paint this stuff, and I love the contrast. They said, well, do you want the new ones? I'm like, I would love them. Now, again, I'm not usually a guy. I never bought all of the ones of the first one set, Wave. I got most of them, probably shy of about 8 bottles. I like one color. I don't know that it's the right color, though. Ugh. Eldari Emerald, that's neat. Griff Charger Gray. What is that one? That might be the one. I mean, I've opened it. It's got agitator beads in it. But yeah, it's... I'm excited about those paints, though. 216. So they're going to have metallics. That's probably 8 colors. I can't even remember what he said. There's some technical paints that are 8s. There's 8 or so. There's some fluorescent colors. That's another 8. So that's like 24. Puts you under at 192 colors. I don't know. I would really like to try them, though. I will see about it. The problem is what do I do with 216 paints? I already have a bunch of stuff in front of me. The downer is, I do have some acrylics, standard acrylics. I have these old nitro ones, which are still fantastic. They're from, they're manufactured by the company that, this is a Swedish company. I think Cell is still around, but they don't do the paints anymore. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty certain I bought these as they were phasing them out anyway. They're pretty great colors. They're made by the original manufacturer of GW, well, not the original, but a while back manufacturer, and who manufactures GW paints now. I don't know if they do the contrast paints, but I imagine that they do. their paints are good, and I have 24. No, I have 16 or 17, 18. I got about 18 to 20 paints of these, and you know, that's kind of all the colors you need. So ultimately, that's what I will do. I will try to get through these before I even consider buying. Are these the standard bottles, or are these the bigger bottles? I think these are the GW size bottles. They are, the rack. And this is the internal rack, I think. So it's not even, it's the thing, I just don't have the space. But yeah, these colors are nice, and they're still fantastic, and they're in, this one's never even been opened. They're in the old bottles, which I like these old bottles. Although the plastic breaks down and the lids get stuff. Is that a kid's pop? That is a kid's popper toy for a palette. So this is Adam Smasher. I don't know who first came up with it, but he was the one that told me about it. Johan and John. And these are like 15 bucks for these two. Now I use the lighter color because I like having, if I'm mixing colors together, I like to see, it's a little bit easier for me to see the color when it's on a white palette. I don't know why, because I think this would actually work. There's a, Turbo Dork has this line of little palette thing that they have, probably about that big, with 12 of little holes for that. It's a silicone thing, same idea, kind of. And I don't know if that inspired people to use these, or if they were inspired by these. But what is fantastic is when it dries, you just pop it out and it almost completely comes out. With the contrast paints, not so great. Not perfect, it's close. Mostly comes out. I did it earlier today. Let me see if I can show you a piece of the paint here. Here was like the red. This is the red that oops, well there's the other half of it. Well, let's just do this one here. This is another pool of the same red, but this just popped out. That's it. And it was mostly completely clean. And it's wonderful. It's very, very great. It contains the paint, and really, really, really good. Such a good idea. And I like the Turbo Dork one actually, because it has like 6 and 6, and then a little well in the middle that you could probably put water, and then a brush rest over the thing. And it's narrow. They're not cheap though. They're normally $30. They were on sale at, and I almost bought them. They were on sale at Miniature Market for $20, and I really came close. But I just don't have room on the desk. I mean, everybody's been talking about Game Envy's wet palettes. I've been mostly using, I have a bunch of them, different ones, but I'm mostly using the red grass one. And I have 2 of those, a large one and a small one. And I want to get the Game Envy one. Game Envy made these. I backed his original Kickstarter. I think these were from that Kickstarter. He called them hobby holders. They may still be called hobby holders, but he came up with a Game Envy type name later. I actually ordered the new painting light. We'll see how good that is. It comes out soon. It's like $80, and it's got like a beam of 4 lights that you can adjust. And I thought it might be good for Nikki too. I actually have pretty good light in here, and it's essentially like a soft box, so it's very even lighting, so it's okay. But I thought that might be good for other spots, like in the projects and stuff we have in our house, like areas that even in the living room when we're just like watching television, we'll do stuff, and we have a little light that's okay, but it's too short. So this thing seems, now it's supposed to mount on an edge of a table. I think I'll look into it and see if it can use like one of those heavy, because it's a standard like plug-in type of a deal. But we'll see how good it is. I almost bought 2 of them. I'm like, no, don't buy 2, crazy person. Till you know what you want, you get what you want out of it. But I honestly think that's all we need. Now Nikki has a sewing area, and she's already using 2 LED task lights. So you'll see here, this color, it'll never come off of here. I should try to just agitate it with a stick or something like that, or a brush. Now, if I don't necessarily want those to come up, because it might be, you know, this was this way when I got it. Now, I bought it, so it might have been on the shelf for a little while. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably thin this as well, so I not go full intensity. But yeah, what's really great about this fidget popper though, 12 is pretty good on that one. This has got a lot of pops here, so bubbles, so I can do a lot of colors when I'm really sitting down and painting, which I did a couple weeks back. This was great, and it cleans up pretty great. I don't like little bits of paint in the just because I don't want them to appear in my project. So I clean my stuff out pretty often. I was visiting Sebastian, and he just is, you know, he's a go guy, and he is so good. Hey, look at that. I touched his head with red. Not a good deal. When did I do that? I knew I hit something. That means I gotta airbrush him again. Anyway, so yeah, he had his airbrush. He had a Evolution, a Harder and Steenbeck Evolution, and he had just clogged it up. So I showed him how to actually clean your brush, your airbrush. But his palette, you know, he has one of these, and I clean mine out every day. And he just, you know, because he comes in, he'll come back tomorrow and paint. So he'll leave the paint in here, and it gets caked up. And who cares about the cup? It doesn't. I'm not mixing anything in there. I don't feel the dried paint would cause any issues, but it still drives me crazy because I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna clean that up. So I clean my wet palette. I have a reservoir. It's called a Rinsewell from Masterson, and it's a big, you know, it's a circular thing that is a tank, and then in the center it's a ridged reservoir that holds water, and you have an inverted bottle above that feeds it. So as you use the water, it keeps filling up. It's like they have pet waterers. It's like this. But what's really great, it's got a button on the bottom that has a drain, so you can just wipe out the color real quick and move and have a clear water. And it's especially good if you use that as your water source to thin paints. I used to use it much more in that manner with acrylic paints, standard acrylics. These are acrylics as well, but I used that, and it was a pretty great way to do that stuff. Wow, that does not want to come off. I have absolutely opened this up. It's got something in there. Ugh. Okay. Whew. Now I put the thinner first, you know, the contrast medium. I should have done that here. I feel like I have a better handle on it, and it doesn't necessarily need as much color. This is a cool color though. Yeah, I wonder, I'm always like, do they need all these colors? Games Workshop, or, you know, because there's I don't even know how many are in the big speed paint set. It's a lot of paints. And, you know, it's pretty cool actually to have some, you know, here's the thing. Here's what's really good about paints that are pre-mixed. You know, if you're doing consistent painting, you don't have to, I mean, like lots of the same miniature, you don't have to mix that color. You don't have to know that recipe to get that. I've mostly painted with the straight colors over the years, you know, not mix anything, but I also have mixed. I have these Space Marines from, and I only painted 3 of them so far. I painted them all once before, and then gave those to Scott. And I did things differently between them. Now, I'm not bothered by that. You know, they're not, in my opinion, that's totally fine. There's the contrast medium, fresh one. But yeah, so there's where if you're going to paint a lot of the same type of miniature, where you want to have red, you know, squad colors or something like that, then definitely just use pre-mixed colors. It's not too hard to figure out your recipe. Like for me, it's always like, I mean, how accurate is it though? I don't know. Like, 3 drops of this and 2 drops of that. But that's when a dropper bottle's great. They're a little bit more consistently applied, or dripped out. But it depends. Scott wants to do a meeting. Hopefully it'll be short. I have a stream. Wait. What time does he say it is? It's work week. We're working. So that's 9 a.m. my time. So when you're doing, you want to apply the paint pretty quickly and keep it wet. This is too much. You'll see here, I'm going to have to pull some of that out. Yeah, it might have been too thin. I didn't put as much as I felt as I did the red, so this is not as intense as the red color, which none of the paints, they're not consistent. There's one of my favorite colors in this set is the Wildwood, and it's a very dark color. And then, there's other colors that are much, I don't know the levels of pigmentation. Obviously, it must vary based on what they're trying to achieve with each color. So you really have to let this stuff dry once it starts to go because it gels up. Now I did want it to be lighter, so a couple coats of that will probably do it. That doesn't look like that's a jacket. That looks like it's a shirt. Because she has a tie and looks like a white collar. I did not do a good job of cleaning the mold lines here on the edge of her hair. And that disappoints me because I'm trying to pay attention and make sure I hit all of those as best as possible. Let's see here. Now it's going to take a little bit to dry. I put in a good amount of contrast medium. It's not the same as Lamian medium. Lamian medium definitely extends the dry time. So let me look at a picture of Penny Parker and see if by chance she has that. If she has a barrette. This is definitely that is the character from Spider-Verse. That was awesome. Wow, Gerard Way created this? Did not know that. I need to look at images, not text here. No hair, no barrette. No barrette at all. Oh, wait, maybe there? I don't know. Ugh, I don't want to try to trim that off. Is that a barrette? It might be just a glare. See there, kind of looks like it. No. Why did that refresh like that? Oh, because it went to the website. She does have like an X, red X. So do I think I could make that work? Let me look. The problem is not many people have this set yet. They have been selling it at the cons, like express shipping it. So here's the character card. Yeah, there's no, oh, there is. There's something in her hair on this one specifically. So it was not in the original sculpt. Interesting. So I guess it's probably a barrette. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to go with that. And that's kind of like the color of her skirt there, too. I really like the Big Child Creatives paint jobs. And their sculpting is great, too. I mean, you know, this is mass-produced stuff, but they look great. So I didn't get any gold there. I need to do that. Her skirt's drying. It's still too subtle. I probably need to put a little bit more of that Griff Charger gray in there. It's maybe a lighter color. So this barrette is gold. So I need to do a little bit more gold. Let's do that before I paint the black, I think. So back to that one color. Put it in the base holder here. Vallejo made a bunch of changes to their color. Everybody's changing their colors lately, so I was talking about the new bottles and stuff like that. I don't know how much they changed the paint. They did do a new line of express colors, which I tried one and I really liked it. So I need to, I was trying to get it. It's not available. It wasn't available when I looked in October here in the US yet. Okay, what color are her boots? Black. So should I do a little bit of white on her hair now? I don't remember how well that turned out with the, I don't have that many grays. I thought I had more. Let me look here. I bought all the metallics. Yeah, I think that's really what so they have their own, Pro Acryl has their own metallic medium. It's probably very similar to the, wow, it's very white. I don't know, they're close, but this one seems to be a little grayer. Interesting, I'll have to try that out. I don't think I've actually opened this one yet. Well, let's find out. I really like their gold, so I thought, oh, let me get all their metallics. Nope, I have not opened it yet. So I'll have to try that one. They come with agitator beads inside of their bottles, glass ones, which are really nice. I think I'm gonna wait. I'll try to do a standard like panel lining kind of thing that I do afterwards. It's funny that that is a gold barrette. There's some, Marvel does such review of all these things. We did, they don't obviously they're not going to do anything about it once it comes out when we do these games, but we did the Marvel Dice Throne missions on the episode while that game was in pre-order. It's still, I believe, in pre-order. It was on Kickstarter. Somebody wrote, I hope you don't do these. We don't. We don't want to do them. It's too hard. We don't like not knowing how to play, like being able to look up a game. The good thing about missions was it was essentially the same, similar to the dungeon, the Dice Throne. I don't know what it was called. That was one reason why we did it on the show, is because I wanted to. I really was looking forward to that being a reality. So we had an inquiry of whether we would do it. We don't get paid, so to do those, because we don't want to get paid. GameNight is not a sponsor. I mean, it's sponsored by GameGenic, but it's not sponsored in any other way from publishers or anything like that. And so we are, we don't want people to think that our opinions are colored like that. Now, we know Travis. I've known Travis for a while. Nikki used to work with him, and that was why we did Dark Providence. I was excited about it. I've never played Study in Emerald. I always wanted to. I don't have it. And so we were willing to do that with Travis. And it ends up being more of a hassle, really, ultimately, than we want it to be. We want, game night is supposed to be fun. And it's hard. It's really hard to do those kinds of things. And the organization is a challenge. And of course, Travis would love to have had Deborah on, which was great. And she was fantastic on that episode. So all of that just makes it hard. Like, we can't. I mean, he knew there was a chance that Deborah might not be able to make it. She is an actress, so she has to be free to that stuff. And of course, that is the priority. So, I also just don't like to, obligate her in that way. It was very nice of her to do it. But yeah, we did do, we didn't make it a real episode, but we played, that's not true though. We did do a couple of Queen games in that manner prior to release. But most of the time we don't. It's really hard. It's, other folks are much better at it, at, getting the info you need to be able to do that. Like Rodney does his how to plays often before it's available. So he has to work with the publisher if he doesn't know what's going on with the game. And we had that problem with horrified Greek monsters, because it was not available, and we couldn't look for questions we had. You have questions with games. And so I ended up writing the designer on Facebook, and we're friends on there, and I'd met him before. And thankfully, we filmed that on Labor Day, and thankfully he was available. I mean, that was the day of filming. We just didn't see it because Nikki had been researching it and did the teach on it, and we just didn't know the answer. And thankfully he was able. Now, I still think we might have sort of messed it up, even though, that's me explaining it to him over Facebook Messenger, which is not the best. Call would be better, but I didn't want to bother him any more than we needed to. So here I am painting the hair, and I don't like painting the hair first before the face, so this was a mistake. I got to touch that up. I feel partly one of the things that's good about it is if you wait to do everything after the face can be, number one, it's painted and it's already got a film on it. So like part of this point of primer is you want it to stick to the paint to stick to it. So when you get it, that's why I'm gonna have to paint that Spider-Man head again, because there's no way I'm going to be able to fix that. I have to airbrush it. And, well, I could probably brush it out and figure it out, but it'll be better to airbrush it. And, but when I work from the face out, it's already got finish on it from the paint, so that anything else around it, like the hair that I'm doing around it, it'll be easier to clear. Hey, Rainer Dar. But yeah, you know, the paint sticks really, really well. Thanks so much for the follow. Paint sticks well on the primer, and that's the point. Boy, this is so big. I'm having a hard time. I mean, it's not really that big, but it's pretty big for stuff I paint. Ugh. I did a nice job on the other side, and then I just drew paint all over it. Ugh. I might have to touch that up too to try to get her skin at a little bit higher brightness anyway. Now I shouldn't be touching that when I have just put wet paint on it. Generally, I would hold the miniature when I do this, but I just don't want to have, I don't have really oily hands, but I just don't want too much touching it until it's dry, or varnished actually. So one thing you do is you put your wrists together, and when you're, I mean, this is wet, I do not want to touch the other side. You can steady your hands when they're together, but holy cow. This is hard when it's such a large figure. So her boots are black. I'll use the same black. It's a little bit silver when I was doing the undercoating primer. It was getting higher on, it was getting on the figure. I painted her first, undercoated her, primed her, and then came in and did the silver. And that, it's hard, but it turned out okay. It's actually okay, I suppose, to have it on her boots if they're leather boots, because, you know, they always kind of have a sheen to them. And maybe the metallic sheen will look good, I don't know. She has bare legs, and that is metallic. Ugh. Or tights, maybe. I don't know. Those look like maybe tights. Nikki got into DC comic of the Doom Patrol. And those were done by Gerard Way, redone, because it wasn't an older. I think actually Nikki was into that one before, in the 90s, originally. And that might not even been when it was new. I don't know. But Gerard Way worked on those later. And he is from. Gosh, what's the band he's from? He is from. Gosh, I should know. I like that. A couple of their albums. Anyway, but he's a musician. And, but he got into comics, doing comics. And that was once the band split up, which I was kind of shocked that the band split up. Because they had one of their biggest albums was like I think the last one. But I think they got back together. Hi, Raynardar. How you doing? Touching her head, it is not 100% dry. Phone buzzing. Let me check. Might be just Nikki moving around. Derek. Okay. So what I might do is do a little bit of stuff underneath her skin. Hey, Edwin Drood. We did not get the flu. Not for us anyway. We're still doing okay. And we did go to a concert. We did wear our masks though. So we were running a risk. Yeah, that's too pale on the skirt for sure. But I could just build it up with the color that I do have mixed. My Chemical Romance, that is the name of the band. I think they broke up after the Black Parade album, or they paused or whatever. I don't really know a lot about them. I do like them. She does have a lot of bright spots, but just I think her ears need a little bit of brightness. Fall Out Boy and Willie Nelson in 2024. Wow, are they together in one show? We're finishing the X-Men base and X-Force boss, only Magneto and Strife left. Oh, Marvel Zombies. I have some of them. I have like the two of the boxes and then the big stretch goal box. Scott had backed 2 of those, and so I was able to take one of them. I didn't. He was telling me I should back it, you know, just have the BGG pay for it. But I just like you can't play. People can't get that stuff easily, and I just don't like doing content. I mean, this is what's frustrating about the Marvel United stuff. This one is available, and I'm happy about that. But not everything is, and that's it. I get it, you know, it's totally fine, but it's a bummer. So I think her shirt is just going to be black. Same black. It really should be different, but from her hair. I probably should put a little bit of a blue on her hair in general. But yeah, the Marvel Zombicide stuff looks great. I would love to. I don't need it, and I don't want to necessarily try to get one. But the Galactus, it's huge. We saw the box and opened it up at Scott's, but we didn't assemble it. Oh, I need that yellow anyway. Missed another piece here. Or did I do it? Nope, it didn't do the hand. Let me try a little bit. Well, I don't need that actually. I should open up that Monument Pro-Acryl metal medium. That's cool. Cool to have 2 different styles. Oh, she's got white cuffs too. Yipes. Okay. So I will just use the contrast Basilicanum Gray and see if we can do an okay job here. And my phone's by my elbow. Wrong place. So this is the same paint, but it's not going on the same. It's probably just larger surfaces. All of the hair is massive, so I don't know. I can't see her tie. I see it poking around the side there, but I couldn't tell you what color they were doing. I don't know if it's black. getting this on camera, twisting around trying to get this. I would like the tie to be a different color to make my mind up on that. Again, I can do whatever I want. You don't have to follow the stuff. I like using the stuff since I don't necessarily know the characters, you know. I was talking about that Rogue Hobbies video where she was doing stuff that was challenging. One of the things she did was like silver and gold, and you know, was doing them non-metallic metal, and they were great. I mean, you know, she still feels that she's not got it together, but and you know, whatever. There are certainly better painters out there everywhere on all this stuff, but I really liked the metallic. It was just black and white, you know. Really, really good. Some place where I wish I was better at, you know. I mean, I would love to be able to do that. I just need to try, I guess. So now her shirt looks more like her hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to put some blue on her hair. This blue that we have in her pants, on her skirt, and see what it does. It might do something, might not. I don't know. Help it. Got to stop touching it because it starts to gel. Now you can see it's still wet in here. I would like to paint that, but since I'm using that color right now, but I will wait. You know what? That barrette should be metallic. So let's put a little bit on there and then put more yellow on top of it. Close this bottle. This is the other thing. You have to be very concerned. See, this is not closed. I would have thought it was. I'm not sure about these paints. I don't love the bottles. I do like working out of the pot though. I will tell you that. It's great. The problem is you end up having it like come back and it starts to clog up your seal. So you have to be cautious about that. I do not need a lot of that color, so just a tiny bit. So you probably shouldn't use your good brushes with metallics. Basically took out all of the yellow. So we'll see how that goes. It's getting close to the end of the stream time here. The music is repeating, I think. Don't touch up there. Hair. Oh, I would have to use the tall one. I wonder if it would fit even. It would. I should try to use that one. Also, Warhammer Old World giant box armies for Bretonnian Tomb Kings. I'm tempted to get them, but no price announced, and that is a lot of minis to paint. No kidding. Oh, not the same show. Yeah, but that'd be cool though. Trying to inform me what I do well works enough, so I hesitate to try new tech. Missed the first one, but got lucky to see mine. Decided to put everything. Oh, the second Kickstarter, yes. The Galactus that's on the new generally your tie is black. Okay, cool. Sorry, I missed that. That's actually good. Good to hear. The Galactus, we saw it at Gen Con for the Marvel United. It's pretty big too. It's great. Looking forward to it. Getting it. I guess all that stuff's coming in April. Ish. Because they said there was a delay. Which is fine. I mean, I would like to try to get all of these done before they show up. I mean, I know that's what Michael and Christina are trying to do. It's great that they got. I'd love to get Nikki painting on this stuff. She's got so many projects, though. As many as I do, I always have too many things I want to do. So there's like a little piece of red here that I don't think I like because you can't see it on the other one. So I think I'm going to cover that up with some silver. It looked like another, like a piece that, you know, like two parts that are like the sculpt. I don't know if it's meant to be that way. You know, this is not the most detail rich and crisp edged sculpt. Let's see here. They have that new, so there's a reprint, I guess the final reprint of, I guess they've done it before, of, I have it right here, Battle for Macragge, I guess, which they said was only $50 when it came out in 94 or 95, whatever it was. And it's not that many minis, it's 32, but it has terrain pieces, which are awesome. But they're charging, it was $50 when it came out, it's $150 now. I would love to get more of that stuff, but I really can't. I have so much stuff. So yeah, it was 2004 because I think it was the next, you know, they didn't do them as often as they do them now. It was the next base box for, boy, it doesn't look like it's the same size as, it is a little shallower than the third edition box set. I don't know if it was Battle for Macragge was the fourth edition though, I don't know. I would, you know, that one has Space Marines and, of course, Space Marines, and it's essentially the latest box. It's Space Marines and Tyranids, which is cool. You know, I mean, all that's fun. I have to paint more, and I got these Marvel things, and if they do something else, I will pay for it. I'm crazy. I really don't want another set. Just getting on my hand. But I'll buy it. I'm really hoping that they would do a Star Wars one. Star Wars United would be amazing. I don't know if they do Star Wars stuff though. Now I think about it. They might do it through who they're working on these with, which is Spin Master. I would literally love it though. Spin Master has definitely done Star Wars stuff. Fantasy Flight does most of the Star Wars mini stuff. I stink, but it's fun and relaxing when I have time to clean. You don't stink. You only get better when you paint more, Christina. You only get better by painting more. So it's fun and you can always do more to them. It's not a big deal. Much more bold than I want it to be. Wow, that was not what I wanted either. And this is really hard to stay on this. I might need to use the bigger one. Let's just see if that's helpful, because I keep popping this one off. I do wish they didn't stop selling these, but this is a lot more plastic. Talent is 99% practice. That is the truth of the matter. Wow, the paint is too thin. That is what's going on here. Needs to be a little bit thicker. Too much water. So there's where water's a problem for thinning. Let me start again. I have such a hard time with white. Off topic, I've been noticing a lot of geeky jerseys in the GameNight videos. How many of the jerseys do I have? Far too many. I love their jerseys. I discovered them with the Lego Space one was the first one I saw, but the first one I bought was the Shining one. CBS Inc., who follows our streams, is one of their illustrators who does the designs, and I keep teasing him. I want a jersey for the replicants, you know, for Blade Runner. I recommended, oh my gosh, that was more than 6 years ago. I recommended them to do one when the new movies were coming out, and they're like, we'll see what we can do. And I would love a replicant one. But anyway, I found them for that one. So they didn't have, I'm sorry, I'm just concentrating on this paint here. It's not really. They didn't have the Lego one, but they had in stock, they had, you couldn't even pre-order the Lego one. That's how Geeky Jerseys is. They come back sometimes in print. They definitely did on the Lego one. I don't even remember how I found the Lego one. I was like, oh my gosh. Some search or something. And it was like, I had to like really look because it wasn't actually for Geeky Jerseys. But they had the Red Rum Murderers? I don't remember what it's called. And see, now it's too thick. White is the worst for me. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway. So I got that one, and they also had the dark, gosh darn it, it was basically Vader's attack wing, you know, his TIE fighter in the, like, Star Wars. And so I ordered that one, I pre-ordered that one, and that one came, so it was actually, I got to put my own, when you pre-order, you get to do your name, whatever you want your name to be on the back, and you get to choose your number. So I'm always 23, so I picked that. And then I just started down that path. I have way too many jerseys, and I keep looking. Like, I almost bought the Dante Quick Trip. Is that what it is? Quick Stop? Quick Stop. And I didn't. And thankfully, it's out of my size now. I think he was on a stream for it, the actor, and it got people saw it and ordered them. Because that one's one you can't pre-order. There was a first one that had Kevin Smith, or just said Smith on it, and then they had one with Dante. They'll probably do a Randall one, I imagine, at some point. Brian, what is his name? Anyway. Brian Hicks? Is that right? No, it's Dante Hicks. But I do love them a lot. I have three. I have three. Brian O'Halloran, thank you. I have three Miskatonic Universities. Boy, this is really not working out. I really have problems with white. I have three Miskatonic Universities. Each one was like, oh, this one's better. Oh, this one's better. And they finally, in my opinion, got it correct on the latest one. And then we did Final Hour with Deborah. That was one of the earliest episodes we did with Deborah. And I loaned Aaron one of my Miskatonic University jerseys. And I had one. And then I wore the latest Miskatonic one on the Dark Providence video. It's always fun when I can wear a shirt or jersey that is themed with the game. So the jerseys, though, the funny thing is that one reason why you're seeing them more is it is cold in here in the studio now. We have to run air conditioning for one of the new cameras that we have. Wow, this is terrible. And so it's just too darn cold. I have to wear the jersey just to keep either that or a jacket. And I love wearing the jerseys because I can't. In Southern California, it gets too hot for those darn things. So those are basically winter month things. And I mean, imagine a lot of places just winter months. But now with the AC going, I could stand to use them more. So happily I can wear them. I also had the Christmas. I had the Grinch and the Santa and the Krampus ones. They have new versions of them. I was very tempted. I like them all. They don't have a new version of the Grinch, but Santa Claus and the Krampus ones were great. New ones are very nice. See, I've been buying those probably for 6 or 7 years. I'm very happy I stumbled upon them. But again, I can't. I think I have two of the Rogue Squadron jerseys, two different designs for that one. Okay, well, that's enough. We'll see what that it looks kind of spotty. Kind of spotty. I can also just touch it up with some black, but I can do this kind. It's edge highlighting, but sometimes I just can't get it right. Good enough, and then I'm going to darken them back up so it's not so intense, but has to dry. The whites take a long time. I think I got my first one in 2012. Wow. Winter isn't cold enough for you either? Wow. Your first one in 2012. So I think mine would have been 2017. And I had never seen them. I'm not necessarily a hockey jersey guy. I am now, obviously. I have at least 50. I have at least 50 jerseys. That's expensive. When you think about what they charge for those things, it is a lot of money. Boy, I really messed up on this. Darn it. This is why you don't want any of the minis around you when you're working. Oh, you know, this one's almost done too. I actually have more almost done than I thought. But I still have 4 more full ones to do, plus some things to do on the others. Yeah, I love them though. They're really great. And pre-ordering them's great. Number one, you get them for a little bit cheaper. They're about $10 cheaper. And I'm in the wrong window. And they, you know, you get your name and number, which is awesome. And I love them. I think here's what's great about those jerseys, is you can get them dirty. I mean, you know, jerseys designed like grass and mud and blood, so they clean up pretty amazingly. I mean, they're gonna outlast me, for sure. Poor Nikki's gonna have to deal. Another thing she's gonna have to deal with once I'm gone. I'm gonna be a weird old man, for sure, wearing all that stuff. But I love them. I think they're really great stuff. I love all that pop culture crap. I have hundreds of t-shirts. Hundreds of t-shirts. For a while there, nobody noticed really. I don't think anybody noticed. For probably the first 5 or 6 years, I wore a different shirt almost on every episode after like the first season. And I don't think anybody noticed. They are really, really great quality. Have you tried the Jersey Ninja ones? Have you checked those out? I've never bought one. They look good. I think there's too much Jersey Ninja iconography on the jerseys for me, ultimately. But they have a couple of great ones. And then they have like rock and roll ones. I'm not that into Iron Maiden or maybe Def Leppard. I think they had Def Leppard. There are other ones. I can't remember. Guns N' Roses, I think so, you know, which is cool. But yeah, I haven't yet. I have tempted. Same here. If you do it, let me know. I mean, there's a couple of great Star Wars ones, and I've been tempted, but man, they just have so much Jersey Ninja. I love geeky jerseys. They have one little patch on the back that is fantastic. But the Jersey Ninja ones look great. I don't even know how I found those. I keep trying to really mess this up. I'm going to go in and try to line those the hair highlights to see if I can do a little bit better. But yeah, I would like to get them. They're not terribly expensive either. They're all, you know, they're all about $120 to $130 basically. I think pre-ordering jerseys now from, at least from what I remember, the ones from Geeky Jerseys is $109 for a pre-order and $119 when it comes out, and it'll have a name that's more related to it. So like if you got Iron Man, it'll say Stark, you know, as the name on the back, and then a number that's like, in the case of Iron Man, when the first comic came out, probably. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite ones is the Troglodytes. I can't remember. It's basically it's Jekyll and Hyde, and that one was $79 in their Black Friday sale, and Cyber Monday sale, whatever. I almost bought one, even though I already have one, because I love that jersey. Great colors, all kinds of interesting stuff going on with it. It's a really great jersey, and it's sad that one isn't more popular. I mean, that's my guess. Even the custom ones, yeah. I like getting the. I mean, some of them. I got the Shining one. It says Torrance and like 79 or whatever, 80 on it. I think it's 80. Those are cool. I don't mind them having the real names. I think I bought the Tony Stark ones as a matter. That was actually one of my least favorite ones ultimately. I just was like, I gotta get a ruby red one, you know. And I got the Hellboy one, which is great. I just like it when they're, you know, because the chest embroidery is phenomenal. Like when you see it in real life, they are so great. And I love the dye sublimated ones. Although the ones that have, like I have the Clerks one, and it has the stripes on the sleeves are each individual different colored fabric. But the Shining one is that carpet in the Shining pattern, and it's dye sublimated on there. It's so great. They just do great stuff. They make some good, oh, Galaxy Quest, you got that one? Fantastic. My favorite is Galaxy Quest. I have not gotten that one. I should, but I love that it's Guy Fleegman. That's fantastic. Number 81. Does he have a last name? Anyway, we will be back on Thursday. We will be streaming games, something Nikki and I will figure out what to do. Thanks for joining me today. He died in episode 80. Episode 81. I died in episode 81. So yeah, we'll play some games. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see if we can raid somebody. It's a little, is it, once again, it's a little bit past 12. I would like to raid, like Ruel, but it's holiday time. I don't know. And Ruel and good gracious, Lincoln, find the. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong machine to be doing that. That is why. Am I on the wrong machine? Let's go to, and that stream is moving. What a knucklehead. All it does is take the creator dashboard. Yeah, I love those jerseys. Thanks for joining me, Joe King. And Stream Manager, let's see what we got. So the YouTube people can't join us on this, but it's one of the best things about Twitch is to do the rating. Wow, there's barely anything. It's holidays, day after Christmas. Only a crazy person like me would do it. I don't know. There's nobody to really raid. If anybody knows of anything on Twitch, let me know. I'll see if I can find them. Wow, I don't blame them. It's like, it's the day after Christmas. I knew Nikki would be tired, and so she didn't even get up before I got out here. Anyway, well, we could see what Chess Bra's doing. He's playing chess, so let's go. That's awesome. Let's go raid him. Got 1,000 people. We'll have 6 people join. If you want to join in, please click through. Otherwise, we'll see you on Thursday evenings, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hey, we got people, 14. That's exciting. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a great one and have a great week. If I don't see you on Thursday, have a great New Year. Bye, everybody.